White House is threatening our way of life. Democratic attorneys general will be joining me in filing this lawsuit.
New York Attorney General urges court to reinstate Trump's $500 million fraud fine. New York's Attorney General has requested the state's highest court reinstate Donald Trump's large civil fraud penalty, appealing a lower court decision that slashed the potential $500 million penalty to nothing. Attorney General Letitia James's office filed a notice of appeal with the state's Court of Appeals, seeking to reverse the mid-level appellate division's ruling last month that the penalty violated the U.S. Constitution's ban on excessive fines.
Look, this is patently absurd what Letitia James is doing in New York. So the fact that she is doing this just shows how desperate she is in trying to distract from her own legal woes that she has right now. And look, this is not uncommon. This is the Democratic AGs do. Democrats are out of power in Washington, D.C., so they resort to these frivolous lawsuits. They have another one right now against the HHS related to COVID era funding. Democratic AGs are the only ones that still live in a world where COVID still exists.
What do you think about the mortgage fraud allegations that the Trump administration has raised against her? Is that why this announcement today is going to happen?
Well, look, I think she's trying to distract from her own legal woes. The fact of the matter is that she is using her perch as New York AG to distract from what she has currently, which appears to be pretty serious. And this is, to get perhaps the administration off her back. But what we know about the Trump administration is they are persistent. They're going to do what's right, regardless of the circumstance, and I trust them to investigate her mortgage fraud activity fully.
New York Attorney General urges court to reinstate Trump's $500 million fraud fine. New York's Attorney General has requested the state's highest court reinstate Donald Trump's large civil fraud penalty, appealing a lower court decision that slashed the potential $500 million penalty to nothing. Attorney General Letitia James's office filed a notice of appeal with the state's Court of Appeals, seeking to reverse the mid-level appellate division's ruling last month that the penalty violated the U.S. Constitution's ban on excessive fines. James had previously said she would appeal. Letitia James lashed out after a New York appeals court threw out the $515 million judgment against Trump. James said she's going to appeal the decision so she can continue to go after Trump. Quote, "The First Department today affirmed the well-supported finding of the trial court. Donald Trump, his company, and 2 of his children are liable for fraud. The court upheld the injunctive relief we won, limiting Donald Trump and the Trump Organization officers' ability to do business in New York. It should not be lost to history. Yet, another court has ruled that the president violated the law and that our case has merit. We will seek appeal to the Court of Appeals and continue to protect the rights and interests of New Yorkers." Letitia James sought $370 million in damages when there is no victim in this fraud case. And she also sought to ban Trump and his sons from operating any businesses in New York. She accused Trump of inflating his assets and defrauding lenders and insurance companies. Trump declared total victory after the appellate division wiped away his fine. But the 5-judge panel left other punishments in place and narrowly endorsed a trial court's finding that he committed fraud by padding his wealth on financial paperwork given to banks and insurers. Trump filed his own appeal last week, asking the Court of Appeals to throw out those other punishments, which include a multi-year ban on him and his 2 eldest sons, Eric and Donald Trump Jr., from holding corporate leadership positions in New York. Those measures have been on hold during the appellate process, and the appellate division judges said Trump can seek a court order to extend the pause pending further appeals. James's appeal is the latest twist in a lawsuit she filed against Trump in 2022, which alleged that he inflated his net worth by billions of dollars on his financial statements and habitually misled banks and others about the value of prized assets, including golf courses, hotels, the Trump Tower skyscraper in Manhattan, and his Mar-a-Lago estate in South Florida. After a trial, the judge, Arthur Engoron, ruled last year that James had proved Trump engaged in a years-long conspiracy with executives at his company to deceive banks and insurers. Engoron ordered Trump to pay $355 million, payback of what the judge deemed ill-gotten gains from his puffed-up financial statements. That amount soared to more than $515 million, including interest, by the time the appellate division ruled and barred Trump from serving as an officer or director of any New York corporation or other legal entity in New York for a period of 3 years. Engoron claimed Trump and each of the defendants participated in aiding and abetting the conspiracy to commit insurance fraud by their individual acts in falsifying business records and valuations, causing materially fraudulent SFCs to be intentionally submitted to insurance companies. Letitia James even took the initial step to seize President Trump's assets after he was unable to secure a bond or pay the outrageous judgment. The 5-judge appellate division panel was sharply divided on many issues in Trump's appeal, but a majority said the monetary penalty was excessive.
John, this is only the latest in a long series, like a daisy chain of mortgage fraud by Big Tish. So just weeks before Donald Trump's so-called evaluation trial, pardon me, she filed a power of attorney with the mortgage company in which she said that within 60 days of closing on this property, she would become a legal resident of the Commonwealth of Virginia. The problem with that, of course, is that would make her constitutionally ineligible to be the Attorney General of New York. And actually, I checked New York State law. The way it works is if you move out of state, the office is automatically vacated. There isn't even a hearing. So only one of two things can be true. Either she moved, in which case she's not eligible to be AG, or she didn't move, in which case she is guilty of mortgage fraud. That would be interesting if that was just the first case, but you go all the way back to her first mortgage, one that she got when she was 24 years old, fresh out of Howard University. She claimed that her father was her husband in order to use his balance sheet and his finances to qualify for the mortgage, and the mortgage was granted. If you look on the mortgage, it lists Tish James and her father Robert James as man and wife, but if you look at the title on the property, it correctly lists them as father and daughter. It's mortgage fraud. Then there's another instance in which she got a property in Virginia under a HAMP loan, a federal loan, that was specifically for investment properties of less than 4 units. So she qualified for and got this loan, but I had somebody go look at the property. It has 5 units, not eligible. So I guess the bottom line of this is pretty clear, at least as far as mortgages are concerned. Letitia James says that no person is above the law except for evidently for her.
Right.
Now, this doesn't even go into the serial cover-up of sexual assault by her chief of staff, happens to be a Muslim, in which she clearly moved to cover that up. This lawsuit by at least one of these 3 women was filed in 2022. Only weeks ago, the appeals court in New York, dominated by Democrats, dismissed not the suit, but the suit against her.
Right.
So she's not being held responsible. And then you have the other really troubling question of how she financed her campaign for Attorney General. Most of that money came through the Democrat payment processing company, Act Blue. What they do, John, is they turn off the credit card verification where you have to match the address of the cardholder, and they basically funneled millions of dollars into her campaign from donors who either don't really exist, or when you contact them, when you go to their doorstep and you show them the 27 contributions they gave to Letitia James, they say to you, who? What?
Right.
What are you talking about?
Right.
So she's a fraud. And the irony of this is that she tried to hold Donald Trump to a false standard. She used a law which has never been used, claiming that he inflated the value of his assets in order to make commercial real estate loans, all of which got paid back on time. And the people who loaned Trump the money made $40 million profit. And they would do the loan again tomorrow.
Of course.
So I think I think she's in big trouble. she has now filed a bunch of lawsuits, and she's trying to distract attention from this, but it won't work. Late today, there was a story that the Federal Home Loan Finance Administration has reviewed all of her mortgage documents, and they've made a referral to the U.S. Justice Department.
Beautiful.
That's all for today. Thank you. If you want global news to keep you up to date on any new developments, please subscribe our channel and forward our content with your friends on social media and email. Thank you very much for keep supporting me. Stay safe. Be blessed. Namaste.
Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America.